Alright, the morning after the night before Liverpool United. I wasn't going to do this today. I was thinking in my head about when to do the first on the spot kind of idea and thoughts and put it out there, and then I thought, well, you can't not do Liverpool United. Obviously supporting Liverpool and that being one of the biggest games in the league that there is every season, so thought fuck it, stop thinking about what other people think and stop trying to make it perfect, and let's just get it going. And that's the kind of whole point of this. You guys can see the ideas kind of grow and how I try and change things and see what works and see what everyone likes. So yeah, let's get into it anyway. Calmed down a little bit after the game, was not in a good mood after that at all. But I want to start with United because really do deserve credit for mainly, and Amarin said this after the game, which I thought was brilliant. I actually, unfortunately, really loved his interview after the game, where he said he was mad because he didn't understand how they can perform like that and they haven't done it in other games. Absolutely spot on, and that's been the real theme of Man United recently under Ten Hag, and even before that, was they would show up like this and you get the whole Man United are back chat and all that, and then they go to Southampton, which is their next game, and they don't perform and they don't win. So I really liked what he said, and he was the one. You guys probably know, if anyone's tuned into this or whoever listens to this is probably a pal of mine at the moment. I hate the chat all the time on shape and 3-5-2s and 4-3-3s and formation. Like, it's a part of the game, I get it, but it's so much more important, and Amarin said this, is it's your mentality going into the game. And you can see it with all the players in their interviews after, what changed. The reporters were asking them what was the difference. They all said mentality. It's the biggest thing, and if he's able to get that across to them on a weekly basis now, they're going to grow and they're going to get better and they're going to start to push themselves back up. I thought Ugarte was very good in the middle of the park. I thought Kobe Mainoo was excellent as well in the middle of the park. I think United won the battle in the middle. I know Neville and Carragher talked about it on Neville's podcast after. Good watch if you haven't watched it yet. On YouTube, was everyone kind of thought the weakness today for United would be Fernandes off that left-hand side, almost as like a 10 up against Trent, and it actually turned out to be Man United's strength. I'll get on to Trent in a second, but all plaudits to United. Thought they were good, they played with courage, they played with freedom. Amarim said that they've looked nervous and worried recently, and they didn't have that yesterday, and they deserved the point, if not potentially maybe even deserved the 3 points there. So unfortunately, fair fucking play to United. On the Liverpool front, just frustrating. There was no real first 15-20 minutes that you want to get at Anfield. It's interesting because I always wonder this, like, a manager like a Jurgen Klopp is able to galvanise energy and use Anfield to his advantage, and he's not a pragmatic manager like a Pep Guardiola or even a Slot is. And sometimes I wonder if that style of football and that mentality and that calmness, it has so many pros. But I think one of the cons of it is, in games like today, understanding how to harness Anfield. And by the way, you have off days and you have bad days, and maybe that's what it was. But I felt like sometimes this season there's not been quite the understanding of how to harness Anfield when you really need it. There's been moments where we've done that as a team, but I just wonder sometimes if you miss a little bit of that with those kind of pragmatic managers. But overall, Liverpool, honestly, I give it about a 2-3 out of 10 based on what I've seen so far this season. I thought the back four were really deep. I think Trent got forwards a little bit, but I just thought Robertson and Van Dijk and Konate sat really deep, and we didn't squeeze them into their half at all and kind of keep them in there and have that control, which was bizarre. I thought Robertson wasn't great. Again, I love him to death. Scottish, always had a thing where if Robertson scored, then I would say, right, I'm out, and I'm out in town, and I'm out till fucking 3 a.m. But there's just a few moments this season where goals are coming from him, and the level's definitely dipping a little bit, and he's just quite a little bit off it. He's not quite getting there. I think that's going to be a problem moving forwards. I think I'll wrap it up on Trent. Yesterday was awful. I want to paraphrase that by saying 2 games prior to that, I thought he looked like he was starting to get back to his absolute best. the crosses, the balls he was putting in. There were Beckham-esque, the one to Diaz in the Spurs game. I think that was for the first goal. Just absolutely incredible. So there's been the last couple of games, he's definitely been back. But yesterday, after all the chat about Madrid and the contract and the Madrid bid and everything, that was just the last type of performance you wanted to see him put in, because the narrative's going to write itself. And that's going to be, well, his head's in Madrid. And I think I might have even said that while I was watching the game, and also probably put that in a couple of texts to some friends in some group chats, because the emotion carries on. But he's going to have a bad day, and I think the biggest thing for Liverpool and Slot is, as the season goes on now, the distraction was there with Klopp last year, knowing it was Klopp's last season. You've got Trent, Salah and Van Dijk. Salah and Van Dijk so far performing well, so they're not really getting a lot of questions asked about them. Trent being the local lad, he's kind of staying quiet. He's not quite been performing as well. He doesn't have the same consistent output as those guys. It's just going to be interesting to see how Liverpool and Slot handle it, to be honest, because that's the thing that could derail them. That, and if Trent's poor, you're going to have to pull him out and play Bradley, and Robertson's levels dipped a little bit. Tsimikas isn't great. That's Liverpool's weakness in this title race now. In a good spot, top of the league, 6 points clear with a game in hand. I mean, I love that. Before the weekend started, nothing's changed, so you've got to just crack on with it. So, yeah, that's it. That's my first one of this. Just rattling some thoughts off. We'll carry it on. I'm going to get it up on YouTube as well. The YouTube channel is going to be the same, by the way. It's still just going to be all through Josh Cannon on YouTube. I'm just basically Instagram. It's just going to be where this shit eventually just lives. So, yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed the game. Hope everyone's calmed down. It's Monday. Back to the week. Yeah, have a good one.